An aspect we often take for granted in a lot of different kinds of entertainment is the ability to educate. And not just books. Movies and games are perfectly capable of educating too. They can educate about political ideologies, mental problems, and different cultures. And today we are talking about a game that is going out of its way to educate about a really fascinating but right now dying out culture. And we are talking about the old real tribe-like culture from Alaska in the game Never Alone.
Unipkaaqutiarsiitpin taalaranilaraannasuk unipkaaqtuaq qaaviuraqama iviaqsiaqarualuguuq iñuuniaqanersuq angayoqaagamini.
Never Alone, a traditional platform game with a twist when it comes to design and storytelling. What makes this game so unique lays in the sheer development, as the creation of the game is a joint effort between the non-profit indie studio Upper One Games and an actual urban tribe in Alaska who made sure that the design and mood of the game is authentic to the real Alaskan folktales. And this is very interesting, a game that conveys real culture and real folktales. The thing about storytelling and media also is that they can actually end up conveying false information as well as true information. For instance, if you like Marvel's Thor movie, good for you, it's a pretty damn good movie, and Chris Hemsworth, you're so hot. But I would have to tell you that the authentic Thor and Loki from the real Norse mythology are not brothers. At best, Loki is Thor's fake uncle, as Loki became blood brothers with Odin while they were still both young, and that's why Odin is letting him stay in spite of all the trouble he causes. Also, Loki has no interest whatsoever in ever becoming king, far from it. He is the mother of all freeloaders, gladly leeching of all the other gods, and he hates responsibility. He would hate the responsibility of a kingdom. The reason why he gets into so much trouble is because he's kind of a gambler, a drunk, and a leech. Thor is not going to be king either. No one else than Odin is. And even if someone else were, Thor actually has real brothers, and they are named Tyr, Balder, and Herder. Thor's hair is being described as being red, fitting his temper, which is grand. Mjolnir is in fact a weapon that can be wielded by anyone. The thing that makes it special is that it's the only weapon strong enough not to break when Thor rams it into stuff. No actual Vikings had horns in their helmets because that would be ridiculously impractical. In fact, a Viking village would not look like this at all, but more look like this. And how can I be so sure of this, you may ask? Well, maybe because I'm actually Danish and live in Denmark and was born in Denmark and have grown up in Denmark, the country which actually did have Vikings back in time. And back in time, this country did believe in Norse mythology. And we do have traces of that around the country. We have some Viking grave hills. We have some runestones standing around on the fields. We have some Viking ships they dug up. Yes, actual Viking ships you can go see, and they also made replicas of it. And I read all the original Norse mythology stories as a child in the original language, which is Danish, which is what I am, and I can understand Danish and speak it every day. And well, it's just a part of the culture. So if you want to make a story which is authentic to Norse mythology and Vikings and so on, to go to Denmark would be a good idea. and try to talk to a Danish historian or archaeologist. We actually do have a good number of Danish historians and archaeologists specializing in Vikings and Norse mythology and Viking culture and all of that. It's right here. You can go check it out, and you should, because it's freaking awesome. And if you want to make a game or movie or story which is authentic to old Alaskan folk tales, to talk to an actual old Alaskan tribesmate and storyteller, it's probably a really, really good idea. And they did that, and it's amazing. Now, of course, I've never been to Alaska either, and I am not from Alaska. The closest thing I have ever been to real Alaska storytelling was as a puppet theater festival, where a group from Alaska told one of the old folk tales with their puppets. Yet now when I think back about that, this game manages to convey the feeling of that puppet show really damn well. And it definitely feels like these two things originated from the same place. The story of the game is a straight up folktale from Alaska about a little girl who leaves her village to talk to the ice spirit and end the storm threatening to destroy her village. On her way she meets a white fox who follows her on her way, and together they prevail. So yes, it is literally a folktale transferred into a gameplay, so it maintains the atmosphere and the feel of a traditional folktale. The graphics of the game are absolutely beautiful, in spite of it mostly being white because, there's a lot of snow in Alaska. It still manages to create these different scenes playing out different scenarios and emotions. The magical creatures you encounter looks very faithful to old Alaska paintings, and the effort that has been put into the research is just astounding. You even get some further insight into the research, as you can gradually unlock these small documentaries, showing life at the tribe in Alaska that helped inspire the game. It's a neat little combo where you feel like you achieve something every time you get to watch a little clip. And considering this is a dying culture, the people who genuinely grew up in this old tribe world and really knows how it was are people who are now in their old age. So yeah, we can only do this research in this way for so long, and that just makes it even more interesting to me. This is a world that is dying. So I can only applaud any medium that takes this opportunity while it's still there to actually learn from these people and make something out of it. Unfortunately, and I am genuinely sorry about this, I have one complaint about this game. It really sucks having to give such a complaint, but I'm a critic and it needs to be done. The controls. Sometimes the controls are kind of dodgy. Sometimes you need to make some jumps where luck ends up being just as great a factor as your skill. I tried playing a few stages of this game back to back with Limbo and Ori and the Blind Forest, just to see if I were wrong, just to compare the two. No, I'm sorry, the controls are better in the two other games. The control in this game could have done really well with an overall fine-tuning before the release of the game. There are some problems here, which the other two games didn't have, so it really sucks. It's still playable, it's still worthwhile, but there are some places which can be quite frustrating, and you just have to keep trying until luck sets in and you get it right. This game is available on Steam, the PlayStation Network, and on the Xbox, and it is well deserving of attention. What it tried to accomplish and what it did accomplish is remarkable, and it just goes to show once again that you absolutely can combine education and entertainment, also in more than just one way. I mean, just look at Professor Layton. It's the first thing ever, which made me take out a calculator willingly. I bloody hate math, and I don't know how you did it, but you made me take out my calculator, you damn game.